Remember not too long ago Boston Museum of Fine Arts came under flame because some very emotional and sensitive people thought it's offensive for non-Japanese people to try on kimonos? Yeah, good times. I remember a couple on YouTube, Rachel and June, even making a video about this because people were confused. I'll link the video down below if some people are wondering what was their reply. But today's video is not about Japan or kimonos. It's a response to a Mexican girl who has issues with white girls wearing sugar skull makeup.
Hello sunshines, I'm Mara and it's October. All the pumpkin spice stuff, it's about to come in. Also Halloween, yes! It's a perfect time to dress up as a sugar skull that is deadly and it's pretty and it's perfect and it's harmless, right? Except when it's not. And it's cultural appropriation and stuff like that.
Except that it's not cultural appropriation, or rather it's not offensive as you like to portray it. You appropriate other cultures on a daily basis and you seem perfectly content with that. Care to explain?
I am making this video because I want to talk about something that really bothers me, and that is white girls painting their faces like sugar skulls.
Why is it only white girls? Brown, black, yellow, and red girls are allowed, right? Same as with guys. Any guy of any skin color can totally wear sugar skull makeup, except white girls. That's pretty racist.
Alright, let's get down to it. So, about El Día de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, we did a celebration to celebrate not only death in general, but also our dead. The people that had passed away and that we knew and loved and respected, and to celebrate their lives and to guide them to the other side via altares de muertos, which are death altars. Now, if someone dies in your family, you can't make them an altar right away. You have to wait 5 years for them to begin the process of going to the other side. We make these altars to guide the people to the other side. It's kind of like a rest stop or something. We put their clothes, things that they liked, food that they liked, water and stuff to clean up and get ready, some flowers, they're kind of like this but orange, a cross with salt, and they have lots and lots of different things, and among them are sugar skulls. These are, well, literal skulls made of sugar. They're normally this size, or there are smaller ones like this size, and they are a representation of La Catrina, which is the dead. Some countries have the Grim Reaper. We have La Catrina to represent death, and yes, the dead that we have is a woman. So yeah, this is a party that we celebrate on the 2nd of November in most of the Mexican Republic. In some places it lasts a week, in some places it lasts 2 weeks, in some places it's just 1 day or 2 days. It really depends on where you are in Mexico. It's different in every place. So yeah, that is a really deep part of our culture and that we hold very dear. And that's basically all you need to know about why we don't want you wearing any sugar skull makeup. But there are some people that think that this is just sharing culture, but I'm going to give a little example so you know why it feels so personal and like such an attack.
All you did in this bit is explain what Días de los Muertos is and why you celebrate it. However, as a white girl, I still have no clue what the significance of sugar skulls is, why they are put on the altar, and how it will harm the Mexican culture if I wear sugar skull makeup potentially once in my lifetime.
So imagine you're in a relative's funeral and someone your family doesn't know and you have never met, and you know that didn't met your relative, just walks in and takes some flowers because they look pretty. That's basically what it is, and it's not really taking away anything from you because there's more flowers, and of course you can just buy more, and it's really not that big of an issue about them taking something away from you, but it's a celebration that is not meant for them. Like, yeah, the flowers are pretty, and yeah, you can take flowers, but these are for my person, the person that has gone away, and this is for them, and this is for my dead, my people that have passed away, not for you and your aesthetic needs.
Oh, come on. Appeal to emotions. Let me ask you this. Does a white girl with sugar skull makeup on Halloween infringe on your ability to celebrate Días de los Muertos? Does the meaning and significance change because white girls have sugar skull makeup for the mere purpose that it is beautiful to them? I honestly don't think so, which is why you shouldn't stir up emotions and make excuses to dictate what people can or cannot do.
And of course, I'm just talking from my experience and from what I feel, but it is like this for most people, and it really isn't cool that you just wear whatever you want just because you want it and just because you like it. And of course, if you like The whole making the altar thing and celebrating the life of someone that has passed away, sharing this bit of culture that is the whole thing, it's cool. It's cool. And if someone that is Latino or that is from Mexico tells you, hey, we're celebrating this, do you want to be a part of it? Then that's completely fine and it's okay. But when it's not yours and when it's not sharing but stealing and just taking, and when someone tries to correct you and tell you why that is not right and you get angry, then you kinda are an asshole. So yeah.
So we have come to a time where you cannot do something just because you like it or want it. I don't know what you expect their motivation to be, but I wonder, do you always have a reason why you do something? You never do anything without properly thinking about your motivation? I don't believe you. Another issue that bothers me is that you as a Mexican say it's bad to wear sugar skull makeup. A bunch of other Mexicans on the internet and probably in real life have a different opinion than yours. Which begs the question, who should white girls listen to? Which Mexican has more credibility? The answer is none. You do not hold any exclusive rights or ownership of Mexican culture. It only exists because Mexicans, like yourself, cultivate it and keep it alive. Even Dias de los Muertos is a hybrid of traditional and Christian practices. If you want to keep your culture to yourself, it will meet the same fate as Latin language. It will not evolve, it will die. So in conclusion, I've noticed a pattern in regards to this supposed cultural appropriation. Mind you, this list is not finite. It is very similar to privilege in nature in a sense that only the majority is appropriated. In America, the scapegoat is the white person. When a minority consumes any kind of culture, let's say black people wearing a bindi, it's perfectly fine. The pretense is that only majority appropriates as a gluttonous pig, but minority assimilates because they have no other choice. And I'm sure they would fit white supremacy and power hoarding in the mix just to make their argument more solid. Number 2. There is little to no evidence that suggests actual appropriation, at least usually, because donor cultures are free to practice their own culture. For example, if a white person will wear a kimono in America, a Japanese person can do the same. In both cases, the meaning and significance of the kimono is not lost. By now, everyone knows where kimonos are coming from. If you want a good case of appropriation, Nazi Germany and the swastika. That is the legit case of appropriation. Number 3. Only popular or well-known colored foreign cultures can be appropriated. Have you ever heard complaints that German culture is being appropriated by Americans, for example, by celebrating Oktoberfest? Maybe it's a matter of time, but no one really cares. The most outcries heard about African American culture, Asian, Mexican, African, or Native American culture. Sometimes it's even ancient Egyptian culture, which really now is a heritage. Remember Katy Perry had a video for her song The One That Got Away? Did you know that in one of the scenes there are traditional Latvian folk dancers with all the cool outfits? I never really remember anybody screaming that it is cultural appropriation. Would the culture police ban non-Latvian Americans from wearing Latvian traditional outfits? Honestly, I don't think anyone would care, because Latvians are white. When Katy Perry performed in the American Music Awards, however, her stage was decorated with Japanesey things, and people took offense that she portrayed Japanese culture in a distasteful way. Number 4. This ties in with the previous point. Appropriation happens when tangible or visible aspects of the culture are used, such as hairstyles. Black people are notorious for claiming ownership of dreadlocks and braids. Also big butts and lips. I'm just wondering when they will start chopping heads off of cybergoths. They've been sporting synthetic dreads for years. As in the video the girl mentioned, Mexicans do not like it when white girls paint their faces with sugar skull makeup. Reasoning as to why is always petty. The feels. If you're not of an Indian descent, you cannot ever wear a bindi. Although I found an article by a Hindu woman who says it's perfectly fine. I'll put the link in the description. Read it. It will make you feel good. I also often read and hear about the term white culture. I understand it refers to white Americans. However, did you know that it is quite ignorant to assume that all white people share the same culture? SJWs and cultural police completely undermine that even in America there are people who are white but practice and are involved in cultures that are not American and are not mainstream popular. This just shows that it's not the culture and appropriation that is bothersome, it's the white person itself. Cultures have been synchronizing and exchanging for a very long time, thousands of years, which is why cultures share similar traditions, symbols, patterns, beliefs, and so on. At this day and age, the speed of cultural exchange has only increased, and it's honestly the best thing that could have happened. So unless you're ready to give up everything that you've appropriated from other cultures through history and consume only what your people have made, I'd suggest you to be a little more humble and a little more appreciative that others show interest in your culture even for one day. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to see more, join my barbecue party and like this video.